YouTubers, welcome back for another adventure. And what we're going to talk about today is how a deal could lead to free stuff and could lead to future deals. This particular deal started out with all this hardware. So what you're looking at here is a machine shop clean out. Somebody went through a machine shop and picked up all the loose nuts and bolts and everything that was hanging around unsorted. The person who owned the machine shop wanted this mess cleaned up. And this is 640 pounds of hardware. It is a mixed assortment, a bunch of it metric, some of it SAE, and they threw in the extra bucket with the bonus stuff in it. Now, there's really no good way of dealing with it except a little bit at a time. And as an example, these are M6 with a 1.0 pitch, and these are quarter 20. As you're looking at the two of them, could you see that easily? The answer is no. But if you spend a few minutes at it and you get yourself a quarter 20 bolt and nut, and you get yourself a M6 1.0 pitch bolt and nut, you can very quickly figure things out. And with this much hardware, I don't need to sort all 640 pounds of it to get rolling on my life. What I need to do is sort up enough of it so that I have SAE metric and a bunch of washers, put them in a small box like that, and when the box runs low, go back to the master supply and get more. All this hardware cost me $200. And if you do the math on that, what's that, 33 cents a pound? I mean, come on, how much do you pay for this stuff? The other thing is I was looking through some of the buckets. I don't have them handy right now, but there was some taps mixed in. You guys could see the wheels and pulleys, you know, some straight stock. I moved that. You know, there was a few other things involved that actually takes it above 640 pounds. So that was deal number one, and you guys share your thoughts on that. So on my way to the hardware deal, somebody had just put out this Cub Cadet push lawnmower. It's an older one, but it seems to have compression, and they seem to have drained the gas. The gas tank is really, really clean. So I think, quite honestly, I'll have it running in no time. It also, I found that tackle box for free. There's a few hooks in there, a few lures, nothing great, but for free I think it was worthwhile. This press was also free. It's interesting, they seem to have overdone it. I can see how that's pushed up a little bit. It didn't come with the jack, obviously, but for free I think that was well worth the money. And I picked up this dishwasher. Now, before everybody starts screaming at me, yeah, you're a crazy hoarder, why'd you do that? This looks pretty interesting as a front bumper, doesn't it? This looks like sheet metal to me. What's it look like to you guys? This looks like stainless steel, right? And I'm not quite sure all the various components to it, but from a metal point of view, I see a lot of interesting pieces that I'm going to do my best to make use of. So the bolt deal led to the free stuff and led to a future deal that I actually want to ask some advice on. So what you're looking at here is a Quadrunner 250. I also have a King Quad 300 and a couple of smaller Suzukis, but generally speaking, I do not have a lot of Suzukis in my hoard. This particular one I got from Andrew Camarada a little over a year ago, and I think I figured out what's wrong with it. I think its problem is that it jumped time. I think after putting in a lot of time and effort, that I think I finally figured that out. What it'll do is when you put a battery to it, it'll turn over but kind of kick back a little bit. It did start once. It actually ran and actually sounded pretty good. But I think overall what's wrong with this puppy is at jump time, and if you take a quick look at the speedometer and you see that 11,500 miles on it, that's a lot of miles for one of these things. And it looks like it was ridden. So, you know, I'm just being factual here. I'm not slamming anybody. I'm not slamming this Quadrunner, and I'm not slamming Andrew. He gave me a good deal on it. I thank him, and let's just talk factual. Anyway, the person I got the nuts and bolts from has two of these. And one of them is in really, from a cosmetic point of view, nice shape. Really cosmetically nice shape. Like showroom. But it has a carburetor problem. The second one is in better shape than this, right? I mean, this is mostly complete from all appearances. I mean, somebody put the kitty black paint job on it, but other than that, it's complete. I think all the levers and all work. So, and I think that's true for the ones from this guy, the machinist guy. The problem is, he's like, and once again, both of them, two carburetor problems. And he put clone Mikunis on them. He went out and bought a pair of clone Mikunis, and he couldn't get the clone Mikunis to run properly, which is something I'm kind of putting on one side of the column as a big negative, because this guy struck me as if he's a good mechanic. So I'm not quite sure why he couldn't get the clone Mikunis on there and get them running properly, which would up their value. Right now, I offered him $700 each for them, and that's, you know, maybe I could go $1,500 on the pair. And the problem is running, they're $1,200 to $1,500 each. So if I give him $1,500 and I get the really good looking one running, you know, in theory, I'm in pretty good shape. If for some reason one or the other or both are no good, up at $1,400-$1,500, I am way out on a limb, right? Like a mile out on a limb. Like, you know, I got $1,000 worth of all-terrain vehicles that I just paid $1,500 for. Typically, you could get about $500 for a non-running Quadrunner, you know. So I don't know. I mean, would you guys go more than that? Would you guys give them $1,000 each? Problem is, if I gave them $1,000 each, I couldn't keep them both. You know, I'd have to, you know, kind of borrow from some money from somewhere and put it back, right? Even at $1,400, I'm right on the edge of that. If I go up to $2,000, there's no on the edge. I'm stuck. I couldn't keep them both. One of them would probably have to go up for sale. So we started out buying machine bolts. We came back with a bunch of free stuff. So I consider myself way ahead, right? The machine bolts, I paid what I thought they were worth. On the free stuff, I paid a little less than that's worth. And now I have two quads to make a decision on. Once again, both of them are Suzuki Quadrunner 250 4x4s, you know, with all the levers for four-wheel drive, four-wheel low, lock, unlock, two-wheel drive, scratch your back, you know, dance in the driveway. All those levers are there. One of them, showroom, cosmetically pretty, and the other one, ridden but in nice shape. The one that's ridden had this kind of speedo So I was able to see that it had 2,500 miles on it, 26, 27, under 3,000 miles on it. So it's young. It's less than half life, maybe even around the quarter life, give or take a little bit. The other guy had a digital on it, so I wasn't quite sure what it was. But given that it was digital, that makes it pretty new, like probably 2010 forward. You guys have more experience than I do, and I'm kind of asking, I mean, what would you pay for what I'm describing? I know, once again, not running, typically they're about 500 bucks each. The prettier one, because it's so pretty, not running, I don't know, $600, $700, $800. It's really hard to get to $1,000 on an all-terrain vehicle that doesn't run, even if it's like pretty brand new. You guys let me know. Let me know what you think. I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please remember, feet down, heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.